First of all, we need to give certain explanation to what is Kriya, because many times Kriyas are a sign of inner possession. So the person becomes a little bit aware. Maybe they have exposure to some energies where spiritual energies where their subtle starts activating. So the true spiritual kriyas through Kundalini awakening smooth process are not supposed to be rough. They will be of a certain, like you said, contracting and releasing nature, where there will be certain breathing patterns or some little correction of the spine and the posture or the legs, or some particular mudras, which all these yogic signs, all these yogic positions, which are called asana, which means something that is not permanent, will come through not permanent absorption. So Kriya meditation means that you get into the absorption only for a little while, where you start perceiving the subtle. The subtle yet is not integrated with the physical. So the subtle will start correcting the physical, and the physical, by getting into a proper position, will start helping the subtle energy to run smoothly as well. So it's kind of the union there. And because these kriyas happen, the body will feel more healthy. It's not that if you are doing voluntary physical exercises that the body will necessarily be healthy, because health starts from consciousness. If your consciousness is victimized, unhealthy, and has cancer or victimization in it, forget about health. You may do 5 hours yoga, hatha yoga every day, and there will be no result. So there will be only result of pumped up ego and feeling I'm doing so much. And it goes with every practice which is not based on self-born knowledge and awareness and this proper awakening process. So when many people experience, when they're exposed to some spiritual vibration, actually the kriyas of being possessed, because some entity starts feeling uncomfortable within them and start moving their body erratically. So it means those people are afflicted, and it has nothing to do with actual kriyas, especially when they have strange facial movements and so on. Normal kriya will only correct the spine. It will crack the spine in an instant, so the person will go back again to the stillness within the meditation. So the meditation happens when you surrender not to any god or any power outside of you, because you are aware of self now. Because awakening means you become first aware of self. So the first point of awakening is equanimity, samadhi, and you. After that, you start going back to this continuously by yourself, withdrawing within. And when you withdraw within, if there is some incorrectness there, if there is need for correcting of some posture or something, then your body will start swaying or correcting the spine with cracks, and it will be just very smoothly, painlessly, and very blissfully. With each crack, with each correction, with each movement, there will be a certain release of inner energy which will start circulating more smoothly. That's the process. With time, you will become more and more still. It means that you will be more established in stillness and contentment. So from that, you will start the process of observation of self on a subtle level. So you will be perceiving the waves arising in your field of self. You will know what yourself, the field of self, is, and how the waves are arising in your lower abdominal area. You will be able to relax your abdominal area, your limbs, your head, your facial muscles, your shoulder muscles consciously. And through that relaxation, there will be a natural surrender of the body into the flow of the subtle body. So they will be integrated. Now the subtle body will be rejuvenating the physical body. And after a certain process of refinement, after a certain purification, The physical body will become diseaseless, or will start cultivating the spiritual essence. And so the transformation, the actual spiritual transformation, will start taking place from within, which will again result on the body. That's why all the Siddha teachings, whatever the names are, we're talking that the body is like it's a fruit, it's a result of whatever internal practice you do, or your conscious transformation. Because after all the impediments are in consciousness, all the afflictions are in consciousness, but they materialize through the process through this physical being. They materialize through the glandular system, then into the organs, into the body. And so if there is a certain affliction, certain feelings will accumulate more in one area, let's say in one organ than the other. And so that organ will start stagnating. Now, whichever organ stagnates in our body, it will result in fatigue, because fatigue is not a sign of spiritual evolution or Kundalini awakening, like many people portray. Fatigue means you have hidden infections, either of a sexual nature or different kind of viruses which could be stored or hidden in your liver, or your liver doesn't function well, and your kidneys, or your entire body is afflicted by something of the occult nature. If the reason of your fatigue is not related to your sleep, meaning you sleep enough hours and you don't work at night, if you walk enough, if you eat well and healthily and in moderation. So if the physical or seasonal reasons are not there, let's say, okay, if you are living in the north somewhere and there is darkness, if you take vitamin D or you go to the sun and the fatigue doesn't stop, there is definitely the infection. So many people write that they have Kundalini awakening and that's why chronic fatigue. It's not related. But when you awake, if you truly awake or become aware of self, certain points may show themselves. So, and they don't show you anything spiritual, unfortunately, at first. They show that there is a reason behind this situation. And if it's not a physical reason, which is related to viruses or some other thing, then it's an occult. But there is also connection that the virus is like a negative energy and the occult is also negative energy. Sometimes people who were affected or afflicted by black magic can eventually come to the possibility of contracting some virus because someone sent huge amount of negative energy towards them and they got into circumstances where they contracted some negative. Well, they got into a situation where their auric field got weakened. Now, who is responsible? In my book, I've written, in Siddha Parampara, it's very clearly written that liver is very responsible for all this thing. And liver is responsible for our immunity system. Together, of course, it's all digestive system, but liver is a most important organ. And then also the absorption of the nutrients in the intestines. Now, if you have a lot of toxicity in the body because of the liver, and then the coating of the intestines is huge, then you won't absorb nutrients, so you may also be fatigued in the physical level, so you need to do colonic cleanses and other purification detox in a proper way, but not to be obsessed about it either. So first and many people also talk about different diets, that they want to try different diets. So before you try any diet, first detox, do colonic cleanse, and then only start a diet, because otherwise no diet will ever work. So now if you see that your immunity system is not working properly, is because many times it's also an energetic reason. First of all, your body got affected, somebody was jealous, somebody sent negative vibrations. You started craving for sugar, started eating badly, doing negative things. With time, your liver starts stagnating, or it contracts some virus, or you came to the possibility. And so your virus means your immunity is low. But first of all, immunity can also be lowered through the negative vibrations and thoughts. And so it is just the entire system. Now, when it comes to Kriyas, eventually they will, the Kriyas will, they can be there for as long as you are. If you're, let's say, even if you're purified, completely refined, maybe you're sitting in a strange posture, maybe you were sleeping somewhere in a wrong pose or something was there. So in that case, you will feel very relaxed, and then all of a sudden 1 or 2 Kriyas will come. They will correct your spine, and that's it. So they will be of a smooth nature. And yeah, what comes to contraction and release, it's I don't know if the Kriya is exactly the contraction or release. Some Kriyas may look like contraction and release. Some are just swaying so that they increase the flow of energy into along some nerves and some nerve passages, blood passages, where they went accessing earlier. So that's it.